every time we get together with you. We say it several times every opportunity we have. Everything that everyone wants or ever has wanted or ever will want is because they believe they will feel better in the having of it. They believe they will have a good feeling emotional response in the receiving of this other thing that they think they want. And what we want to convince you of is that what you want is the emotion. What you want is the good feeling. The other stuff's just the justification that you give for having it. In other words, I want prosperity because I will feel better, and I want a lover because I will feel better, and I want this because I will feel better. I want everything that I want because I believe I will feel better in the having of it, and I believe I will not feel good in the absence of it. But it is the emotion that is the primary manifestation. Hear that. Your emotion is your primary manifestation. And if you can hear that, if you can leave with that today, if you can know it in the way we know it, then you will have control of the only manifestation that matters, which is the way you feel. And when you get control of that one, you've got control of every other manifestation. You've got control of financial manifestations, of physical manifestations, of relationship manifestations, of worldwide manifestations, of weather manifestations. You have control of every other manifestation if you deal with the only manifestation that matters, which is, how am I manifesting in this moment? Which means, oh, hear this. It's the first time we've said it this well. Oh, we forgot. No, we didn't forget. How much of me am I allowing to manifest here and now? How much of me is playing with you now? How much of me are you getting? Are you getting the pinched off version because I'm choosing something that bothered me last night and that I worried about? Am I choosing something that only allows a little bit of the manifestation of me to be here so you get the raw, ragged edged, on-retoed version of me? Is that the manifestation that you're getting of me? Or are you getting the full-blown, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, source energy manifestation of me? That's the manifestation. This is the fastest way and by far the easiest way to prepare you or anyone to receive information or manifestation. In other words, what we say here and your reception of it is going to be a manifestation. So the easiest way to prepare yourself for a wanted manifestation is to be as general as you can be about who you are and where you are in life in general. So, generally speaking, I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be here. Glad that I got chosen. It's nice to have this opportunity to visit with Abraham. I have some things I want to talk about. I've been getting stuff from this. Already I sort of feel queued up to it. Really glad I didn't move the chair. Great group. They feel receptive to things. I can feel changes in the air for all of us. Looking forward to what's coming. Beginning to feel my power. Things are working out well for me. I sense that the universe is on my side. I love the idea of consistent laws that I can apply. I love getting a handle on my approach to all of it. I think I'm doing really well. I must be doing fine. I'm here in the chair. Lots of people to choose from, and here I am. My question must be queued up enough, and I must be in the vibrational vicinity. It's probably going to be a really good conversation. I'm going to get some clarity here. I'll hear what I'm ready to hear, and whatever I'm ready to hear is what I'm ready to hear, and I'm eager to hear what I'm ready to hear, and I wish Abraham would get on with it so I could hear what I'm ready to hear. But that's just a general dialogue that just puts you in the place of more likely reception, yes? So now you're in a general place, and when you go back to the specifics, because specific negative emotion, you're further from what you want. General negative emotion, you're closer. General positive emotion, you're closer still, and then off you go. But you see, we're not trying to get you to the solution. We're just trying to deactivate the problem by being general. Now, we were generally positive. Let's be generally negative for just a moment. I don't really know how this is going to play out. I'm not sure I can get my question out. Wish Abraham would shut up. I've been carrying this around for a while. That's generally negative, not specifically focused upon it, you see. Yeah. So, do you ever use the word God? If you do, you are among the humans who do. If you don't, you're more like us. We don't use it because it means things that we don't mean when you say it. But that source energy in its most thriving, most satisfied state is flowing right through you in the moment that you're having some lovely conversation or experience with someone. In other words, Source is not off separate from you, hoping that you figure things out so that you can someday return to source. Source is flowing to you and through you all day, every day, and to the degree that you feel fabulous, to the degree that you feel wonderful, to the degree that you feel exhilaration, to the degree that you feel frisky, to the degree that you are in love, to the degree that you are feeling appreciation, to the degree that you are experiencing in the moment those kinds of emotions, to that degree you are allowing who you really are to be felt by you. The source within you doesn't need you to be aware and doesn't need you to be tuned up in order to be blowing and flowing and growing and loving through you. But in order for you to get it, for you to feel it, you've got to be on the vibrational wavelength. You can't set your dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 97.6 FM. You've got to be on the same frequency in order for it to be your experience, you see. Never look back, 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 never look back. Never look back because everything is forward, everything's in the vortex. That's who you are, and when you look back, you deprive yourself of who you are, and it doesn't feel good. And when you look back, you're defending, you're justifying, you're explaining, you're probing. In other words, the now is the richness. It's this now here-ness. We began last Sunday in Seattle by saying, we are extremely pleased that you are here. And we want to help you to feel the bigness of the here-ness, because here means the convergence of all that you are. And here, this powerful now where you meet you is all any of us have. But the thing that you are helping us to emphasize that is really a new leading edge understanding that you're resonating with is that when you are here in your physical bodies, in this time-space reality, in this room, having this conversation, and you are resonating in vibrational accord with the wholeness of who you are, then you allow who you are to be here with you too, no separation, no deprivation, here with you. And that's when you are feeling the fullness of who you are. That's the way life is supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel really, really, really brilliant. You are. You're supposed to feel really, really, really adored. That's who you are. You're supposed to feel appreciation for each and everything that you focus upon. And when you look out into a diverse world, there's plenty that you can find not to appreciate on. Don't look too long there. Because when you look too long there, it sucks you out of the vortex, or really the vortex can't hold you when you do that. Our strongest desire is that you accept that which you call source energy, or that which you call God, is doing the creating that you've all been reveling in or revering right here through you in this time-space reality. That when you have that moment of delight in a new idea, that is you and source together reveling in the eternal expansion of this universe. And it's worth celebrating right then and there. And that's what that elation that you feel is. That's that celebration that you and source are having together, you see. And when you feel afraid, when you feel fearful, when you feel angry, when you have those negative emotions, it doesn't mean that source is feeling those. It means that you're feeling something so bogus, so apart from the way the source energy feels within you, that it has to equal the opposite compensation. In other words, who you really are feels so good when you pinch yourself off from it. Isn't it logical that you would feel really bad? So as you begin to understand that your emotions have always been your guidance system to let you know one thing and one thing only. How am I in my physical body right out here on the leading edge resonating with the source of all that I am? Is there full resonation, or am I off the beam in some way? We are energy. You are energy. We are vibration. You are vibration. And when you understand this, and we feel you do, don't you? As you've been listening to us here, you're getting this. You're feeling the resonance of what we speak. You know it right now, don't you? And the reason you know it is because you were patient enough to focus in a way and listen to us deliver the words of something that you knew before you were born. And we rambled long enough and you listened clearly enough that you have come into full resonance with who you are. And this is what we're talking about. You want to be in full resonance with who you are. You'll go home and they'll say, "Oh, how was the meeting?" And you'll say, "It was fabulous." You will. You'll say, "It was fabulous. It was fabulous." And they'll say, "What was it about?" And you'll say, "Well, you kind of had to be there. You kind of had to be there." You have to be there. You have to be on the vibrational frequency in order to know. And you know that. Don't you like being with people who are on your vibe? And you say that when you're in the doldrums, you want them to be there with you. You really don't, because it just adds to it. But it's nice to find resonance with who you are. So as you're exploring all of these things and talking about the things that you were talking about, social injustices or things in the world that aren't working as well as you would like them to, still your optimism is so supreme because you largely know that you're here for improvement. And so poking around in the problem is known by the whole of you as part of the improvement process, part of the joyous creative process. So the emphasis that you feel, the majority of what you feel, is the aliveness, the social interaction, the co-creative dance, the brilliant minds coming together, the insights that are occurring to you. Your inner being, here's a good way of saying it, your inner being will come to the party, will come to the debate and make you brilliant, even if you're talking about the side of the proposition that you don't want to support.
Totally.
Isn't it interesting? Because that's the game you're playing. In other words, in this game, I'm going to take this discussion to a whole new level, and I'm going to make them see something that they've never seen before, and I have the resources to do that. In other words, my inner being, does that mean, yes, we're having a little party here on our own. Does that mean that my inner being would actually help me in the promotion of a step one moment? Yeah. Would it? Would your inner being actually help you to get clearer about what you don't want in a debate so that you can give birth to what you do want? Really? Now, we haven't been there before, have we? In other words, this manifestation, this fullness of who you all are. In other words, this whole conversation is you can't get it wrong and you never get it done. And as long as you're feeling mostly fun and joy about what you're doing, then keep doing it that way, you see.
Totally.
We don't ever want you to say, oh, I study this spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
Which means it's like being a vegan.
Yeah.
We love you very much. But you're so pure about what you eat, you're not eating anything that tastes good. And we don't want you to be such a purist in your thoughts that you're isolating yourself off into this corner where I'm a spiritual person, and so I should not be having that thought. And we say, a lot of those thoughts lead to other thoughts and other thoughts. It's like saying I'm an artist and I will deprive myself of most of the mediums that are available to me because I disapprove of them in this way and this way and this way and this way. And we say, then you're going to miss out on a lot of the delicious, magnificent things that you will be creating if you deprive yourself of the resources of creation.
Totally.
Every conversation that you have comes on the heels of what you're doing emotionally. It's just a fact. And when you make your emotion your primary manifestational goal, then you've got it. Then you've got a handle on everything. Practice it. Make a decision that you're going to shift emotion about something and find a way to shift the emotion, and then watch the series of events that take place. I want to show you how the vortex is the holder of all things that you want, but the vortex is the holder of the vibrational equivalent of them, and they still are going to flesh out for you in specifics. And if you could stop being so concerned about the specifics fleshing out to which you would then have an emotional response and start focusing upon the emotional response that you have control over now, then you will begin to see how the fleshing out occurs after you achieve the emotional response. We've been saying vortex first, then manifestation. Now we're saying to you manifestation of emotion first, and then more detailed manifestations following that. What we're showing you is how worlds are created. We're showing you how you are the creator of your own reality. We're showing you how to find the basis of your vibration from which everything else will follow. But if you start not at the basis, if you start out there in the specifics and you don't have control over the specifics, and you don't, then you'd never get what you want. You just complain about contrast your whole life. And it's not easy. We know you've been dealing with a lot of stuff. We know that we're making lighter of a situation than you really want to make light of. But we promise you that if you can discover, and you can, on a regular basis, this playful spirit that is really within you. And you see, when you're lying in your bed at night, a few nights from now, maybe even tonight, you're going to be lying there and you're going to realize how good you feel for no apparent reason.